pre-algebra students, Mr. Lawrence here, and we are going to quickly calculate the area and perimeter of trapezoids and triangles. Remember that for a triangle, the area is found by multiplying the base times the height and then cutting the answer in half or dividing by 2. And the area of a trapezoid is found by averaging the bases and then multiplying by the height. Okay, and remember, base and height always make a right angle. What did I just say? Base and height always make a right angle. Okay, so let's look at this one here. Let's do the perimeter first. Remember, the perimeter is the distance around the polygon. So we have 16 plus 16 plus 20 plus 30. Okay, now 16 and 16 is 32. And so I'm going to get 32, and that's 50. Add them together. My perimeter is going to be 82 centimeters. Let's do the area. Okay. First of all, I'm going to average my bases. Area of my trapezoid, I'm going to take 16 plus 30, divide by 2, and then I will multiply by 16. 16 and 30 is 48. Divide by 2 times 16. So I'm going to have 24 times 16, and I bet if I just keep doubling 24, eventually I'll get to 16 times 24. So I've got 24. If I double that, I get 48. And then if I double that, I get 96. And if I double that, I get 192. I am willing to bet that 24 times 16 is 192, and in this case it will be centimeters squared. Okay. Let's look at this one here. Perimeter should be simple enough. Let's do the perimeter. Looks like we're going to get a 12, a 17, and a 30. I know that's 24. I know that is 50. And it looks like my perimeter is going to equal 74 inches. Okay. Now, hopefully you're noticing that you cannot do the area of this because we don't have the height. So I am going to drop in a perpendicular segment to represent my height. Perpendicular means they meet at a right angle, right? And I need to know how tall that is before I can do my height. Well, okay, this is going to take a little bit of work. I know that this is 12, okay? And I also know that between these heights, or these black dashed lines, it's 17, right? Everybody okay with that? So this is 17. The whole distance is 33. So if I subtract 33 minus 17, I believe I'll get 16, right? So that means this piece and this piece here are a total of 16. Assuming that they're congruent, I can cut 16 in half and know that each piece is 8. Well, why is that important? Because I have a right triangle. My right triangle looks like this. And I know that this is 8, this is 12, that'll be x. And so I'll identify the hypotenuse, and I'll use the Pythagorean theorem. Filling in c first, then I'll have x squared plus 8 squared. So then x squared plus 64 equals 144. I'll subtract 64 from each side. X squared is going to equal 80 on the nose. I know that the answer is going to be pretty darn close to 9. Hold on one second. If I use a calculator and get an estimate to the nearest hundredths place, I get 8 and 94 hundredths. Okay, so I know that this piece here is 8 and 94 hundredths. Now I can go ahead and use my formula. I'm going to average the bases. and then multiply by how tall the trapezoid is. So the bases are what? 17 plus 30, and the height is 8 and 94 hundredths. 17 plus 30 is 50. 50 divided by 2 is 25. Skipped a little step there. Hopefully that doesn't screw you up. And then I'm going to do 25 times 8 and 94 hundredths. I know the answer is going to be pretty close to 225. Not quite there. So 25 times 8 and 94 hundredths. And it's going to be 223 and a half inches squared. Okay. If you're wondering how I knew it was going to be so close to 225, this number here is pretty darn close to 9. I thought of 25 times 9. And I thought of quarters. If I had 4 quarters, I'd have 100 cents. If I had 8 quarters, I'd have 200 cents, right? If I had 9 quarters, I had 225 cents. $2.25. I knew my answer was just a little bit below 9, and so therefore I was going to be just shy of 9. Okay, let's come on down here for these triangles. First of all, the perimeter should be simple. Looks like we have a triangle that's 52 by 52 by 40, and if I add that together, I'm going to get 144 meters. Okay, to do the area, I'm going to do the base times the height, and then I will cut it in half. The problem is I don't know the height, right? Because I don't have a right angle. I could drop my perpendicular piece here to represent my height. You've seen Miss Eubank do this many times. Okay, and so there's 20. I'm going to set up the Pythagorean theorem, knowing that 52 is my hypotenuse. So I'm going to do x squared plus 20 squared equals 52 squared. Remember, it's just a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and the hypotenuse is c. So I'm going to get x squared plus 400, and I don't happen to know 52 squared. There's probably a cool pattern for it, but I didn't know it. So it's going to be 2,704. I'm going to subtract 400 from each side. X squared equal to 2,296. I'll take the square root of each side. Shoop, shoop. X will approximately be, oh, silly me, I did the wrong thing. Hold on one second, ladies and gentlemen. 2296, 4792 if I'm rounding to the hundredths place. So this is 4792 hundredths. And now I can do the base. Area of the triangle would be the base, which is what, 40? Yep, 40 times 47 and 92 hundredths. I'm going to divide that by 2, and then the area of the triangle is going to be 40 times 47 and 92 hundredths divided by 2, and I'm ending up with 958 and 4/10 meters squared. There we go. Okay, let's do the last one. And again, the perimeter. We're just going to add the 3 sides. Uh-oh, I don't know this side here. But I do have a right triangle, don't I? So I'll use the Pythagorean theorem. Always identifying C first. Always. Okay? So I'm going to have 8 squared plus 15 squared equal to 17 squared. 8 squared plus 225 equals 289. If I subtract 225 from each side, a squared equal to 64. A is going to equal 8. So now I can do the perimeter, and I will just simply do perimeter will be 15 plus 8 plus 17. It looks like that's going to be 40. And what kind of units am I in? Inches. 40 inches is my perimeter. Okay, the area is going to be the base times height. And remember, the base times height make a right angle. If I check this out here, get my highlighter, there's my right angle right there. What two segments are coming to make the right angle? Well, the 15 and the 8, and notice how the right angle turned green, because when the yellow and blue mix together, they make green. So, my base could be 15, whoops, sorry. My base could be 15. My height could be 8. I'm going to divide by 2. So we get 23 over 2. Now some of you get really freaked out. Look, 12 divided by, or 24, sorry, divided by 2 is 12, right? And 26 divided by 2 is 13. So therefore 23, oh, why did I do that? I went the wrong way. Silly Mr. Lawrence. Sorry. I should be using 22 divided by 2 is 11. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 23 divided by 2 is smack in the middle, isn't it? So it'd be what? 23 divided by 2. What's smack in the middle? 11 and 12. 11 and a half. All right, so the answer will be 11 and a half inches squared, and there you go. All right, that's your lesson for today. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Good night, everybody.